Portillo's is my favorite reason to visit my family. Oh, that's great. Is it worth it? If I wouldn't drive 700 miles for a Portillo's, but like if you're on a road trip anyways and it's like, well, it's like 20 minutes out of the way, take the 20-minute drive. So as someone who's traveled a lot for Magic, Magic weekends are usually a really tight schedule. The food and stuff I would eat on a lot of Magic weekends are just like things that were adjacent to the convention center. There wasn't a lot of exploration into cities because you'd like leave after work on Friday, drive for 5 or 6 hours, get to the hotel by midnight, sleep, wake up, go to a tournament room, like play Magic all day, eat something very quickly, pass out, wake up, play day 2, drive 5 or 6 hours home after playing day 2. Like, yeah. They forced the last one, so the second one's probably going to be pretty good, right? I'm going to force the crap out of this counterspell here. Do I want to brainstorm in response to this? I could hit a blue card, right? Is that greedy? I have a lot of blue cards. Just gonna force this. Maybe I should brainstorm in response. And people wonder why you don't travel as much for Magic anymore, right? Whoa! Nobody has any Magic cards left. Just nobody has any. All of the Magic cards are gone. All of the Magic cards are gone. Yep. All right. Umezawa's Jurgit. Playing against Miracles, or it was likely Miracles, but the Portent confirms it here for us. Means our Blood Moons are going to be pretty bad. That one's going to be pretty good, though. That one's probably going to be pretty good. Don't make day 2. I want this island, right? Another Stoneforge. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, so I'll take both of these basically. We'll draw the Ponder, but we won't cast it this turn. And then next turn we'll draw Stoneforge and then crack the fetch to shuffle the other one away. If you don't get a feature match, we'll riot. So the 4th land here is kind of worrisome because it means my opponent has the ability to snap Counterspell. So I think I want to lead on... I'm going to lead on Equip Snapcaster Mage and attack here and see what they do. Magic Online's running slowly. It's using 2.5 gigs of memory. Sounds about right. I'll have to restart after this match. So I'm going to be kind of aggressive with this Jitte. I'm just going to like push damage with it. And I don't think we're playing this True-Name out here. I think we're just going to be... We have a predict on themselves, sure. There's one tournament you have to win. No, there's no pressure on this one. I got paid $2,000 to go to this tournament. I've already top 4'd the Open, and the Open hasn't even started yet. So, like, you know. Yeah, second main Keranos is happening now. They could have a second Counterspell, but they're just far more likely to have Snapcaster Mage as their second Counterspell. So this might not resolve, but I definitely think it's worth jamming here. Third Force of Will, yep. Sure. Yes, I think Umezawa Jitte is too obnoxious for Modern. They've pitched a Snapcaster. Oh, and they're plowing my thing. That's unfortunate. Maybe I should have just let these trade. I probably should have just let these trade, huh? Oh, that's a Spell Pierce. Well, would you looky there? Glad we did that in response. Gobble your guy. Kill that. Alright, your move. Maybe I'm supposed to ponder there because I know there's a land on top of my deck that I don't really want to draw. Correct. I'm gonna play every match out in its entirety and give myself the best possible chance to win every match. We're gonna spend the 12-hour stream tuning the Ollie Mine deck. Jitte takes over creature-based matchups, and a lot of matchups in Modern are creature-based matchups. Is what it comes down to. If you want to see the Ollie Mine deck in action, you should check out my stream on Sunday. We're going to be streaming it all day. If you want to see it before then, you should go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. Take a peek there. The deck list is in the comments if you just want to see the deck list. So they're going to plow the Batterskull Germ here. I guess attacking with the Stoneforge is bad in this situation, right? Because I could have bounced the Batterskull and replayed it here. I could have bounced the Batterskull and replayed it here. But I wouldn't have attacked with the Stoneforge. That was loose. Got him. Alright, so this is an easy Blood Moon out. Sword of Fire and Ice in. Pyroblast in. Flusterstorm in. Swords of Plowshares is kind of mediocre here. Verdict's kind of mediocre here. I guess they have Monastery Mentor, but we have bolts, right? So I just like don't really need these if I have bolts. Yeah, I check for donation messages after the stream, so after I'm done streaming, I always get all my YouTube videos formatted, and then I check messages on Twitch, Twitter, and other places. You think I want Verdict and I don't want Force? Nah, Rip's not very good here. They have some graveyard-centric stuff, but not a ton. One Verdict's probably fine. That's probably fine. Like, I really don't want to Verdict away my True-Name Nemesis, though. I think I'd rather just, like, try and answer the mentor before it gets out of control, rather than, like, having a reset/catch-up button. So, Force of Will is card disadvantage, but a lot of the time, these games of Magic come down to one really important card resolving or not resolving on one side of the table. And when matches come down to single cards mattering a lot, Force of Will is a very good card. So like, you're willing to spend 2 cards to make sure the important thing really happens, basically. I'll go ahead and submit like this, I think. Handles Counterbalance. That's interesting. Yeah, I like that idea. Maybe that's fine. If we see Counterbalance, I'll bring in Engineered Explosives. They don't all play Counterbalance. If they're smart and listen to Jim Davis, they won't have Counterbalance. I really like Jim's assessment that Counterbalance is kind of mediocre. It just doesn't do enough without Sensei's Divining Top. I think I'm gonna get a Volk with this. They could back to basics us. We fetched a lot of basics last game, but that doesn't necessarily mean they won't have them in their deck. That's a card I want to be conscious of while I'm sequencing my lands if possible. So even though I don't have Blood Moon in my deck, I still kind of want to fetch basics. Cite your sources, please. Cite your sources. I'm gonna get Sword of Fire and Ice here, because it's really good with this True Name. Counterbalance is really good because, in my experience, Counterbalance isn't particularly good, especially without Sensei's Divining Top, because it's hard for it to truly generate card advantage without a way to consistently set up the top of your deck. Just having access to cards like Portent and the other smaller cards just isn't enough to make it consistently great. Shouldn't have tapped the Volcanic Island there. Should have tapped the Tundra to leave my red mana up. Would love to draw a Spell Pierce here. I think we'll put the True Name last. See how this goes here. Steady as she goes. Got a Disenchant. That's annoying. I think I want to fight over this. This is card advantage. I want to fight over this. They have a Flusterstorm, we're pretty sad here, but if they don't have a Flusterstorm and like this connects, we're like super happy. What about Stoneforge Mystic and Modern while simultaneously batting Batterskull? Can you please explain to me why turn 3 Batterskull is too good in a format where my opponents get to play Karn on turn 3 and get to kill me with Storm on turn 3? Like, I don't... Yeah, like, what about turn 3 Batterskull is unfair? What's wrong with that? I'm willing to be wrong. I'm willing to accept that maybe there's an angle I haven't seen, but like, where... Remember when we talked about the Force of Wills during sideboarding? This is such a perfect example of like Force of Will being like a really reasonable card this game. Like the Sword of Fire and Ice connecting was just something that was going to allow us to take over the game, and that's what it's done now. These are my cards. Dealer's choice. They're great. Would most people play Jund and blue-white? I mean, all of just, you can't actually predict what's going to be good without actually having a bunch of experience with it, right? Like, there are a bunch of very good Magic players that have a lot of experience doing a lot of things, playing a lot of Magic, and most of them thought Jace the Mind Sculptor was going to ruin Modern and be overbearing. We're well into this format, and I think it's reasonable to say that Jace probably isn't taking over and ruining Modern. That's probably not what's happening, based on what we've seen so far. Wow, they are like super dead if this connects again, right? Again, like, I like how as soon as I say you can't know without having experience and like playing it a bunch, someone just like takes an opinion and go, well, if they put Stoneforge Mystic in Modern, you can only play Storm and Stoneforge Mystic and Tron. Like, that's, we literally don't know if that's the case. It might be the case, but we just objectively don't know that for certain. So like, don't do the typical Magic player thing and spout off like we have some kind of certainty that we just genuinely don't have. It's okay to just be like, you know what? It might be fine. It might not be fine. We don't know. Let's try it out. Yes, yes. And the thing people don't like, Modern is a very creature-based format, which means all of the decks in Modern can interact with creatures a bunch. So like, yes, Stoneforge Mystic is a powerful creature, but there's tons of powerful creatures. Baral makes 10 mana the turn it comes into play most times. It limits design space with equipment. I think that's people use that defense all the time, and I think that argument's horseshit. If you're worried that you can't print new good equipment while their Stoneforge Mystic is in Modern, guess what? When you break it, go ahead and reban it. Taking something off the ban list doesn't mean it's off the ban list forever. It just means that it's fine for now. Also, can you please describe to me what kind of messed up equipment's going to be better than Batterskull? What equipment are they trying to design? What equipment are they trying to design that like Stoneforge Mystic suddenly says they can't have? Welcome to everyone hanging out here tonight. Hope you're enjoying a good Modern rant or two. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time TCG player and content producer here on Twitch. I stream Magic 30 to 40 hours a week. If you are enjoying the rants and the Magic that we're playing here today, please consider subscribing on Twitch. My subscribers are the reason I'm able to do what I do as often as I do it. You can also help support my content by supporting my sponsors. MTGOtraders.com would love to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you. If you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. And finally, this stream is made possible by viewers like Anironics and you. Anironics would like to remind you at the very least, please make sure you hit that follow button. It doesn't cost you anything. It lets other people know when I'm going live. We had a donation there from the Stinger MTG, another Breakfast Blade League. Make whatever changes you like. Also, PMU a switch to the breakfast sideboard that I think you'll enjoy. Sounds good. Sounds good. At any rate, we've got our second match here with the Jeskai Blade deck. We beat Miracles here. And starting off 1-0. Be sweet if we cashed 3 out of 3 leagues. I think it's very reasonable. It's going to be pretty bad if our opponent's playing like a Lotus Petal deck. Oh, we played against this person earlier. What were they playing? I think they were playing Grixis Delver earlier. We played against them when we were playing the Breakfast Blade deck. But Esser, like, you're saying it's good, it's too good because it generates value. Like, cards generate value all the time. Like, people made the argument that Jace was going to be too good because it generated too much value. Like, how many cards does Karn take out of most people? Like, Karn's like a 3-for-1 or 4-for-1 or a game ending for 1 most games. Does Karn need to be banned? Like, again, I'm just saying power level is contextual. Stoneforge Mystic, yes, 100% extremely powerful magic card. Well, I will not argue with anyone that Stoneforge Mystic and what it does is not powerful. What I will make the argument of, though, is that the power level of Stoneforge Mystic in relation to the other cards that are modern legal is reasonable and comparable. That's the argument I want to make. That's the comparison I want to draw. I don't want to say this card is good or bad. What I do want to say is compared to the other things that are legal and modern, Stoneforge Mystic is not too strong. That's the argument I would like to make. That's how I would like to present myself. I'm gonna bolt this. Yeah, like Cyril, like you're just parroting what the same shit everybody else always says. You can't unban Birthing Pod because then they have to stop printing good creatures. You can't unban Stoneforge Mystic because then they can't do these things. It's like, sure, it might get broken at some point in the future, but why do we have to wait? Why do we have to not have the card while it's not cracked in half? It's okay to reban something later should it actually become a problem. Okay, so I'm looking. Should we ban Tarmogoyf? Should we ban Tarmogoyf because it goes in most green decks? Should we ban Snapcaster Mages because it's in most decks that contain islands? Should I feel obligated to ban Lightning Bolt and Path to Exile because they're auto includes in these other decks? Like, I just want things to be applied consistently. Yes, people play good Magic cards is basically what you're saying. It's a good Magic card, so people will play it because it's a good Magic card. I agree with that assessment. I agree with the assessment that it's a good Magic card and people will want to play good Magic cards. Yes, so yes, there's nothing wrong with a good card that is widely played. Maybe I'm supposed to have put this Batterskull into play already, so that way they can't stifle the germ. Ban good Magic cards. I need my Summoner's Egg deck to shine, right? Okay, so the other argument is it narrows deck building. Can you please name 2, 3, or 4 competitive white decks that all of a sudden become very similar when they play Stoneforge Mystic, because there really aren't that many great competitive white decks in Modern. Oh no. Oh no. We have one Supreme Verdict in our deck. We have one Supreme Verdict in our deck. The Bears decks, yeah, they don't even count. Like, they're not very competitive. Sorry they aren't. Sorry if you love them. They aren't very competitive. Here's some bits for good old Hugel Rant. Thank you, Tarmagusi. Birthing Pot is broken for future use easily. Sure, but again, stop it. I'm going to start timing people out and banning them if they keep bringing up the it breaks future cards, because I think that's a bad argument to make. I don't accept that as a reasonable stance to take. That's not a reasonable stance. If you're worried about breaking it in the future, ban it in the future when it's actually broken. Don't preemptively ban it now. I think preemptively banning things is silly. And I get it. You're parroting what you hear other people say, and like Wizards of the Coast says that kind of crap too, but like, that's dumb. It is. Just like, if you're worried about it being a problem in the future, ban it when it's a problem. Don't let me not play with my cards now because you're worried about it 10 years from now. Yeah, I think we're winning the race since we drew our own true name, right? Have some bits for the rant and getting me wound up as well. Thanks to the chair, Pete Ed. Yeah! Stone Daddy getting it done. I thought we were gonna lose that, and then we hit true name of our own. Can I just talk about how great true name is and how you should have 2 to 3 of them in all your blue mid-range decks? In case you're unaware, true name is great, and you should have 2 to 3 of them in all your blue mid-range decks. Is this a rest in peace matchup? Is this a rest in peace matchup? It's definitely an extra verdict, extra sword of fire and ice matchup. It's not a Keranos matchup. That's true. Yeah, I like that. I like 2 rips for 2 Snapcasters. I don't think I want a 3rd rip. You don't normally board in rips versus Delver. I guess Engineered Explosives is probably good. I'll do that instead. Just like max on spot removal. I'm gonna board in 1. I'm not a huge fan of Spell Pierce. This hand seems great. It needs another blue source for True Name, but it's got a bunch of basic lands in it that are very good in this matchup. We've got a Plow for their first threat. We got a Force in case things get too scurry. I'm gonna shuffle these. This is another blue source, but it's wastelandable. And like, we have like Blood Moons and stuff we could draw to, and Stoneforge Mystics. Hey, MTG Drafts, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. I do appreciate that, as always. Subscriptions are the best way you can support what I do here, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Because my opponent's not applying pressure and I just have all of these lands, I'm gonna opt to play around Daze this game by just playing my cards a turn behind. If my opponent was potentially applying pressure, or if I didn't have guaranteed land drops, I'd probably play into Daze here, but because I have the land drops anyways, I'm just gonna try and hit them and play around Daze. I should do this at the end of turn, but it doesn't really matter. Get a Sword of Fire and Ice here, I think. Remember, post-board, our opponent's a little bit less vulnerable to our equipment because they will have things like Ancient Grudge to kill them.
Hi, it's cold down here.
I'm hungry.
What's cooking? How long are you going to be streaming?
Till the end of this league.
How long is the league?
Did
you lose yet? Can you lose faster?
Can you lose? We are 1-0. We are up a game in round 2, so probably another hour or so.
But I think I want some tortillas for our dinner, and I don't have any tortillas, so who's going to go to the store and get tortillas?
Not me. Sorry. I know. It's a hard knock life. You were literally just at the store.
But I didn't know I wanted tortillas.
Oh, isn't her life hard? Her life's so difficult.
It's so cold down here.
It is really cold. Maybe you should turn the heat on.
Is Matt on? Matt could bring me tortillas.
Here's some bits. Thank you, Platinum RPG. I appreciate that.
First person to bring tortillas can have dinner.
Gabriel Pants, thank you for the 2-month resubscription. I do appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Try and stick our fish here. If they have a Pyroblast, we can force them.
Klutz, bring me tortillas and I'll feed you. I don't know how to make tortillas.
Does Jimmy John's deliver tortillas?
Any takers? You bring the tortillas, I supply the rest of the food. At Andrew, at Matt Bamonte.
Delver Zero, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. I do appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so barring a way to kill an artifact here, we're gonna be in a really great spot.
Taco casserole.
I'm gonna lead on Brainstorm here. Nah, I'm not. I'm just gonna play this land and activate this.
What? What?
Okay, if they don't have a Shatter plus a Counterspell, we're gonna be in an amazing spot here. Probably gonna force pitching the second True-Name. Yeah, probably. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Yeah. Yep, Grudge is bad for us. Yeah, the Turbodex deck is fine. Hilarious Max, thank you for the bits. Because if I force the front half, they just get to flash it back. You've been my primary source of MTG entertainment since Xi'an went to Seattle. Thanks for the hours of entertainment. Moro Sith, thank you. Thank you very much for the bits. I appreciate that. Thank you for the support. No Delver Flip. That's good for us. Hopefully it's not a True-Name of their own. I really need to find a way to gain some health here. So we're going to start on Brainstorm next turn and see where we can go from there. We have a big fish here. Smells like a big fish. Something smells fishy. Wonder if they have a Pyroblast. They want to leave that up alongside Flashback Ancient Grudge. We are 1-0 in this league, and we are up a game in this second match. Verdict. Yep. Yep. Do 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 beep do 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 beep do do beep 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 beep. I mean, kinda, right? Like the Stoneforge Mystic drew a card. The Stoneforge Mystic drew a card. Oh, that's unfortunate. I feel like they have a Reb here. I feel really bad when we get rebbed. Something's getting rebbed at some point, though. Whoa, that's good for us. Ding. I choose you, Pikachu. I'm holding this island in my hand in case we draw another Brainstorm, so we can shuffle it back into our deck. I'm wasted, opponent. Maybe another True-Name. A big fish. Smells fishy. We should have True-Name in Modern. Get out of here. Get out of here. I'm losing this race, right? Like, they're dead in 4, I'm dead in 3, so we're gonna leave our card back to block. Yep, yeah, Force is good in this matchup in matches like this. I think it's fine. If they cast a cantrip, I'm just gonna Pyroblast. I just want to use my red mana ASAP here. That technically lets us win the race, but I really don't want to try that. The fair decks don't need another thing in Modern that just rails them into the ground. There are so many things that destroy the fair decks, just like adding another thing to the checklist of things that they need to try and be able to beat in True-Name Nemesis doesn't sound good for them. Doesn't sound good for the format. Remember when we said we were going to hold this one for a Brainstorm? Pepperidge Farm remembers. If Ancient Grudge in their bin, so I can't stick this Batterskull. Maybe I should have shuffled the Batterskull away. Yeah, I forgot they had the Ancient Grudge in their bin. Yeah, but not every fair deck in Modern's a Liliana deck. Not every fair deck's a Liliana deck. Yeah, waiting till 8 mana seems reasonable. Earn only one off here. Hey, just a city boy. Here's to many more. Thanks for the endless hours of videos while I put off my assignments for college. Thank you for the 2-month resub. Thanks for sending your Amazon fun money this way again this month. I do appreciate it. Yeah, saying dice to Doomblade so it's fine is like a weak argument, right? I'm gonna keep waiting. If my opponent has a Daze or a Spell Pierce, they could kill my thing with Ancient Grudge, and I do have a copy of Rest in Peace in my deck, so if like I draw Rest in Peace, I get rid of the back half of their Ancient Grudge, which is nice. We also have 3 copies of Blood Moon in my deck, which would lock them off of green mana. So like just have a lot of reasons to just wait on this Batterskull. BB into Stoneforge Mystic sounds like a hoot. Sounds like a real good time. Would really like to draw a Blood Moon. It's a Delver, yep. We could probably force a Blood Moon through with this Blast plus Spell Pierce. Maybe I was just supposed to plow this and then race them. Like, I could have plowed this plus Pyroblast to the Delver, but I kind of want to save the Pyroblast for a fight over a Blood Moon because a Blood Moon will be game winning. These are my cards. My cards are okay. We at least wastelanded once or twice this game. I think it's twice. Yeah, so we've had 10 lands this game. There aren't that many lands left in our deck. Alright, let's try it. This puts them to 17, but the True-Name's a 6-turn clock, so... Beep, beep, hop in my fish-shaped Jeep. Try and run you over. Plow is so powerful. I'm gonna blast this. I'm gonna blast this. Like, they have a bunch of cards, they're not doing anything, so... You have a big fish here. Oh wait, that was red mana? We don't... In general, I don't think people are in favor of having more turn 2 combos in Modern. Yeah, maybe the blasting the Brainstorm was wrong. We're a turn behind on this race, right? This gets Umezawa's Jitte, which is awesome. Yep. And, like, if they want to kill this with the Ancient Grudge, then they can't kill the Batterskull. And, like, even just getting to gain 4 here swings this race in our favor. They're dazing me. Sure. Oh, I should have paid off of white there. Whatever. There's Tundras for this to get so we can spell Pierce next turn. And they know about Batterskull and Spell Pierce because they looked at our hand. So this puts them to 11 and puts us to an effective 14. So they're on a 4-turn clock. We're on a 5-turn clock. So we're winning that race now. And like if they spend the Ancient Grudge, they're going to need a different piece of removal in order to deal with the Batterskull. Bolt is kind of scary. All right, I'm just going to gain 4 in response here. So they don't accidentally just like bolt us out of the game next turn. There's a Ancient Grudge in our opponent's discard pile, and I'd rather they kill the Jitte than kill the Batterskull. So you're right that the Batterskull is better, so I'd rather the Batterskull live. If they have Marsh Casualties, they could beat us anyways, Brecken Sky, because of the Ancient Grudge. If they didn't have Ancient Grudge, I agree I'd keep a counter on it, but because they have Grudge, there's no point in keeping a counter. Well, my opponent's thinking I'm running to the restroom really quick. I'll be right back. He's dead, Jim. The Forked Bolt hitting our Stoneforge Mystic and not hitting us for reach seems pretty good for us. What our last couple of cards are here. It's dead, Jim. That leaves us dead to a bolt, right? Ding. Just gonna go ahead and windmill this Batterskull then. I'd already gained life from the Jitte. It didn't have any counters on it. I gained life from it on my turn. I gained it at end of turn when they lightning bolted my face. If they have an Abrade or another Grudge or a Call Against Command here, it is what it is. Just need to play the cards out that we have. If they don't have a way to kill Batterskull next turn, we just equip Batterskull to our True-Name and then run them down. They could have double Bolt here. They could have Bolt Snap Bolt. They could have Bolt Fork Bolt. Equipping Batterskull costs 5, chat. Please be dead. Please be dead. Please be dead. Please be dead. Please don't kill my Batterskull. Please don't kill my Batterskull. Please don't kill my Batterskull. Yes! Victory! 2-0. 2-0. 2-0. 4-0 so far. Running people down with Jeskai Blade. Having a good string for Legacy here tonight. 4-1 to the first 2 leagues, or 2-0 starting this one. Hopefully we can finish it out strong. Finish it out strong. Another die roll. God bless. Seems okay. If it's a matchup where Blood Moon's not good, it's going to be real bad. Alright, I'm about to get Chalice for one. They could be a Blood Moon deck themselves. Hopefully they're like an Eldrazi deck, where this Blood Moon's gonna be good. They're like the Prison deck like I played in. Yeah, it looks like they're the Prison deck. That's not gonna be good for us. At least not with this hand. I think this matchup in general is probably not too terrible, but our hand definitely is not well positioned for this matchup. Oh, wait. They're white Stompy. Weird. Hopefully this isn't the you become the whatever card that lets them Howling Mine. Suppression Field. Crack that fetch. Alright. At least Blood Moons are bad. We said if Blood Moon was bad, we were gonna have a bad time, so. Yeah, there's not gonna be Palace Jailer from here. Force, Verdict, EE, Sword, Disenchant. Blood Moon's really bad here, obviously. Gideon and Jace are probably bad. Maybe I want Jace more than Plow. They're not always going to have double suppression field. Yeah, let's do this. Seems fine. Like, not exciting, but fine. So Spell Pierce is good there. Probably just go grab Batterskull with the Stoneforge Mystic.
More, okay?
Will do. Thank you, wife. Put Glock into play really fast here. Yeah, the Pierce is great there. They have a Palace Jailer here. You know what? I should have played my fetch last turn because of Suppression Field. Yep. Punished. Should have played my fetch because of Suppression Field. Thankfully, Batterskull is better than most of their decks, so... Oh, this costs 4 to activate. That's rough. Glad we drew Disenchant. I can't activate EE for 0, chat. That's not an option. Really wanted to draw a land there. I probably want to EE for 0 before I put the Batterskull German to play, but it's going to give them a trigger off their Preeminent Captain for free. I think I'm just going to pass, put the Batterskull into play, and eat this inside of combat if they attack with it. I think that's just going to be the plan. Yep, Vitalia. Oh, wow. I made another mistake there. I should have played this out for 0 last turn, because now I actually can't play it for 0. Which is actually a pretty big mistake, right? Yeah, it's actually a pretty big mistake. So, small thing, but worth mentioning. I didn't attack with the germ because they have 4 power with the first strike creatures. No, we actually don't have any colorless lands in our deck. Why do I need to fetch? I can fetch a basic. Cast that for 3 and pass the turn. I only have 1 card left here. Unless it's insane, we're going to be in a pretty good spot. So this kills those 2. We'll just start attacking with this. Next turn, we'll get to drop the Sword of Fire and Ice into play at their end step. Start beating them down with that as well. We get a food review. It's okay. Something new. Our carrots are a little bit tart. Chrissy said she wasn't a fan of them. Aerial Responder, yep. You have an Aerial Responder opponent. I've kept the Mesa uncracked because fetch lands are valuable for Brainstorms, and I do have ways to kill this Chalice of the Void, so we might Brainstorm at some point during this game still. Where's this decklist from? It's a donation decklist. Brecken Sky sent it in. Got a lot of text on there, so we're just the old gain 6 here. The Force of Will is like an okay draw. They have Cavern of Souls. Force of Will keep some of their annoying stuff from happening, but not all of it. Do I care about Suppression Field? I don't think so. I think that's just fine. I'm gonna go ahead and attack with these Stoneforge Mystics. If they want to eat one for free, that means my germ connects. I assume the no blocks there was them conceding. Yeah, tapping some ancient tombs. I don't think I want to change anything. I think I'm pretty happy with how I sideboarded. Spell Pierce is a little bit worse on the draw, but I think we have to keep it. I don't know if these plows are good. I think they're worse than the bolts. Do you think the plows are better? Do you think the plows are better? That could be a change I could see. Hey, Noob Shoota. Thank you for the 3-month resubscription. I do appreciate that. Welcome back. A quarter of a year. Thank you. Gideon's kind of awkward against their suppression fields. This hand's pretty good. True-Name Nemesis is good in this matchup. Disenchant is excellent. If they have turn 1 suppression field, they're going to get a free win probably, but I can't mulligan this hand. Thorn of Amethyst, that's fine. That one doesn't bother me too much. Perfect, that's another land in the event of suppression field. This card's the reason why the opponent's deck is playable. This is their own personal Howling Mine that I'm not gonna be able to interact with here for a little while. Probably gonna plow something this turn, and then we'll play True-Name next turn, and then be able to hopefully run away with the game from there. Yeah, Snapcaster Mage was a good pickup too, so maybe we can just run them out of this game. Well, I could use Snap to take the Monarch too. Oh, that's a good line. I guess we'll wait and see what else they do. Okay, so there's the Captain. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna end of turn the Snapcaster Mage. And I can untap and plow this. I think that's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna end step, snap, and then untap, plow them. Means I'm one turn late on getting I'm getting True-Name down, but it lets me draw a card here, which is nice, and I probably want to plow the Captain anyways. So when I deal combat damage to my opponent, I become the Monarch, and then I get to draw an extra card here. They'll become the Monarch back, so we're just gonna like trade drawing extra cards here for a turn. Next turn, we'll probably go land True-Name. We'll see if they have another threat here. Ideally, they don't have another threat, but the odds are that they have another one. Dahlia, yep. Don't we all want to be the Monarch? I mean, really? Don't we all want to be the Monarch? This deck's playing Disenchant instead of Wear Chair because red mana can sometimes be hard to keep on the battlefield because it's just our third splash. Well, the Aerial Responder, they definitely have the tools they need to race, right? That doesn't matter. I use my fetch lands aggressively, so that wouldn't matter expressly. Alright, that bolt's really good. So, let's hit them with this, grab the Monarch back. Play Keranos. And then hopefully the goal here is to clear their board and be the Monarch while the board is clear. If they offer this trade, I'm going to take it. Again, I just want to get their board clear. This doesn't have any extra stats, right? Yeah, it's just a 2-2. You're the Monarch, and you're the Monarch. Everybody gets the Monarch. So we're going to 7 here. Hopefully we draw a spell and get to kill this Aerial Responder. That's unfortunate. Supreme Verdict. So I could bolt and then snap plow. That's pretty good for us, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and attack here. Oh, I can't bolt and snap plow because of Thalia. That's unfortunate. I can Snapcaster, block Thalia, plow the aerial responder. That seems reasonable. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. And that keeps them from getting the Monarch back. If I keep them from being the Monarch, then we should be in a very good spot. So, play Snapcaster Mage. Thalia plus Thorn is annoying, yep, for sure. So, if I don't take damage, they don't take the Monarch back, so I get to block here. And then I get to plow this one. So they're going to gain 2. They're going to kill my Snapcaster, but they are not going to become the Monarch, so that's good for us. So they only have whatever cards they have. I can't cast Force of Will because it costs me 2 mana. It looks like they have Soldier spells anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Another aerial responder, yep. The good news is if they don't have another creature here, I actually just get to bolt the aerial responder and then leave the True-Name back on defense. Another pressure field, so that's really good for us. Yeah, this seems... I think we're gonna get a spot to win here. Kill your Thalia. I'm gonna start on Disenchant this Thorn here, just because it's really annoying. I'm gonna bolt the crap out of this. Cast this Ponder. I believe we've taken over the game at this point. That's a Batterskull, yep. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw this Force of Will. So that way I have something that I don't mind pitching to my other force. Play this, smack them for 3. Draw a card at the end of turn because I am the Monarch. Thanks for that, opponent. I appreciate the extra cards. Sweet. Are we going to lock cash in this league already? Start 3-0. Swords of Plow, Chalice of the Void, lock pieces. Some kind of removal. This is my Batterskull. My Batterskull is amazing. If I ponder and set up a spell on top of my deck, we get to kill them next turn. Yeah, Ponder is really good with Keranos. You're not wrong. Draw an extra. I forgot I was drawing an extra card. It's a good thing there were 3 spells there. And they were all great. Alright. Alright. Keranos punching the clock and going to work there. 3-0 with Jeskai Blade. I like this configuration a lot. Lots of true names, planeswalkers. The bolts have been very good. I like having a bunch of 1-mana removal. I've played a few different iterations of Jeskai Blade on stream before, but I've never played one with 4 bolts in the main. So the 4 bolts have been pretty impressive. Blood Moon is a good card in general. It hasn't been good for us yet this league, but I'm happy about having 3 Blood Moons in my main. Feels like something that's like reasonable to be doing. I think I'm gonna keep this. Is Magician Burkhart, or am I misremembering that username? Anyone know? I feel like I recognize that name. It was an A+ draw. Feels a little awkward. It's Burkhart? Okay. Feels a little bit awkward to have to fetch a non-basic when I have these Blood Moons in my hand. Is what it is. That's fantastic. It's great to be lucky. Four color Punishing Fire Greed. Got it. Hopefully we draw another basic or two here. Yeah, I assume he's playing Legacy or helping his team test Legacy because there's a Legacy Pro Tour this summer. That's awesome. That was the perfect draw because now I get to fetch a basic Plains here. I'm not going to play around Days out of the deck with the cards that they've played so far, so I'm just going to go ahead and windmill this Blood Moon. They don't have a Force or actual factual counterspell. Smells like they have something. Hopefully it's just a Brainstorm. Oh, they could have Abrupt Decay. Okay, they have Abrupt Decay. Got it. The Team Pro Tour, Legacy Pro Tour. Pro Tour that involves Legacy Magic the Gathering cards. Same difference. Stoneforge is decent. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just windmill the Jace here. And I think if it resolves, I'm just going to use it to scry. They could have Bolts plus Punishing Fire. I guess they could Fire Me, Return the Fire Me, Baleful Strix the Jace, so maybe this is loose. Brainstorm. No, I'm okay with drawing a Brainstorm. Yeah, maybe this Jace play is bad if they have P-Fire. Yeah, we've gotten a little manhandled so far this game. What's going on, Jet? They usually do not play Wasteland, that is correct. They'll use Punishing Fire to finish him here. If we're exceptionally lucky, this Brainstorm's going to find our second copy of Blood Moon and lock them out of the game. Our rips out of the sideboard are going to come in and do God's work post-board in this matchup. Yeah, we did gain 6 and tie up a little bit of their mana. So that's definitely true. And, like, if this Brainstorm doesn't find me something useful, I can just, like, slam this Jace and make a similar play. Then they're going to be obligated to have Lightning Bolt to kill this Jace. Spell Pierces and stuff. So I'm going to go put this back, put this Tundra back, play this, use this Jace to scry my Tundra to the bottom, I think. Draw the Spell Pierce next turn. See if they have a Force here or not. Ship that. So we get 4 looks at another Blood Moon next turn. Hopefully they don't have bolts and we get to tie their mana up. Usually the deck our opponent's playing doesn't play Lightning Bolt. They have like 1 or 2 at most. I suppose if they have a red source here, they get to go fire, bounce, fire, and kill the Jace. If this Jace lives, we get a ton of looks to find a Blood Moon, which would be insane. Like, he has an island here, but we don't really care about that. Oh, does have a bolt. Okay. I'll start with this Ponder. It's pretty good. That was a real bad. It's a good draw. Seems like a good a time as any to try and stick this monster. I guess maybe there's an argument to waiting on this because I can't pierce a Force this turn, but like, if they untap, they're probably going to force something at some point anyways. Yeah. This can come down next turn then. I guess maybe there's an argument for playing the Stoneforge Mystic here because they might... Nah, they're not going to force the Stoneforge because they have Fire, right? Pitch Dak Faden. Yep. I'm supposed to true name before plowing. Yes, that makes sense. I agree with that assessment, Rogue. I should have true named before plowing so I could pierce a Force. I agree with that. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and snap a Ponder here, digging for a Blood Moon still. Blood Moon's our way to get out from under this Punishing Fire game 1. Those are real bad. Just once, I'd like to look at one of our ponders and not go, those are real bad. Alright, let's cast this actually. Again, not playing around Daze out of their deck, probably doesn't have it. If this comes into play, we'll grab Batterskull because it doesn't die to Punishing Fire. It doesn't die to a single Punishing Fire, I should say. We also don't have a Sword of Fire and Ice game 1. He's dead, Jim. She's dead, Jim. Cantrips and Blood Moons. Those are the things we're looking for. Alright. Sweet. Here's hoping they kill this before they take damage. Tilt. That's unfortunate for us. We do have... Maybe? Huh. Am I supposed to bait with the Batterskull there? I think maybe I was supposed to bait with the Batterskull there. I think Blood Moon's way more likely to win us this game than Batterskull, right? So if I played the Batterskull, that's probably what he was holding the Force for. Yeah, I think my sequencing was bad there. I think he probably would have forced the Batterskull and then gave me a window to resolve the Blood Moon the following turn. I do have one more Blood Moon in my deck. I'm also playing for the timeout factor here too. Like my opponent's what's it called? My opponent only has is down 3 minutes on clock right now. I'm gonna pierce this Ponder just because the spell Pierce is like, unless they draw Jace and I have an open mana, it's not likely to do much. Yeah, like, could you imagine if I was getting to untap and play this is a Blood Moon here? I'd get to bolt one of their things and they're probably just, like, mostly done playing Magic here. You'd be shocked if he timed out. Maybe. I mean, these games go long, and, like, their deck does not generate quick games of Magic. The attack with the Baleful Strix is bold. I'm gonna bolt the Snapcaster Mage, so I don't want them to trade Snapcaster plus a Punishing Fire for my Germ. The Howling Mine stream's gonna happen on Sunday. See if they hold back Strix or not. Nope. Might be useful later. Assuming we fall behind a little bit. So they can actually kill my germ here. So if he would have punished... No, I'm a liar. I'm dumb. Ignore me. I'm not going to complete that thought because I'm wrong. Could not kill my germ with just punishing fire. Alright, just won me. Yep. I'm kind of surprised they're not trying to trade the Baleful Strix for the germ token with what their health total's at. Card's pretty good. Not hitting a fetch land kind of feels bad, though. They're baiting me to set up their Death Shadows, right? I guess they're probably just waiting on, because they just need, like, a red source in order to like, kill my germ every turn. So, like, if they have one more red source, they can go fire, return fire, fire to deal 4 to the germ. Yeah, we definitely have a lot of live ones here. I wonder how many Culligan's commands he's on as his main deck. Probably a non-zero, knowing Corey. Yeah, it's a little unfortunate that we're Brainstorm locked right now. And we know, like, the next 2 cards in our deck are going to be bad. Especially when he's resolving things. Okay, he's Brainstorm locked as well, so it's good for us. Wonder if we're going to see Baleful Strix stay back now. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and bolt this. A non-red land there is really good for us. Yep, Repticate will do it. So long, Jeremy, my old friend. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. This is a Jace. Yep. I know there's a plains on top of my deck. I think we're at the point in the game where I'm just playing for the timeout. This game is pretty much gone at this point, so I'm just going to like play quickly and probably a little bit sloppy so I can try and burn as much clock as possible off my opponent. If I was playing a paper match of Magic at this point where we had a shared clock, I would definitely concede. The Batterskull just like isn't a very useful resource at this point though, because the Jace is here now on top of the Punishing Vice. Why didn't we spell pierce the decay, right? Asking the real questions. Not offhand, McBurr. You should pop to the end of the video on YouTube. I always put the wrap-up segment that I do on the YouTube video. Yeah, I agree. I'm probably going to be able to take like 2 to 3 more minutes off their clock before this match is over. Right, I'm just going to go into full F6 mode here. Just like kill me. Like they've seen all of the cards that are important to see out of our deck, so we might see some more cards out of theirs. Gonna like F6 every turn and make them burn through it. Especially if they're gonna keep Jace storming. And they have their Snapcaster back, sure. And Snap Bolt here. Oh, fire, right? That makes sense. Yeah, definitely. The blue-green Eldrazi deck was sweet. Can you send me a message? Can you whisper me on Twitch to remind me about that, McBurr? I'll get that updated when I go through and make all my changes post-stream tonight. So, we're up 5 minutes now. We were up 3 minutes when we started losing, so maybe we can be up 6 minutes by the end of it. And I keep making decisions and fate sealing us and clicking all around, so. I'm gonna keep this land in my hand to play around Kolaghan's command during the draw step. We did get them to 4, you're not wrong. And we're up 6 minutes on clock. If we can force a game 3, the clock will definitely be relevant. I'm really excited about these 3 rest in peace I have in my sideboard. It's like super pumped. Corey Burkhart is a professional Magic the Gathering player that plays on Channel Fireball's team, I believe. He's also one of the Hex TCG developers, which is another digital card game that we play on this stream on occasion. They have Leovold in their deck. Okay, see, like, I gained a piece of valuable information. Like, I am just playing this to burn their clock. I'm not going to show them that I have another Blood Moon in my deck. I'm not going to show them there's a third one of those. So I'll concede if they play, like, a probe or a way to look at our hand. Oh, I think they already saw that, right? Because they saw it with Jace. So we lost a little bit of information, too. But knowing that they have Leovold is worthwhile information. And we're going to finish this game up 7 minutes on clock. So I gained 4 minutes by making them click this out. So these Rest in Pieces are great. These Pyroblasts are great. This sort of Fire and Dice is great. I don't know if Engineer Explosives is worth it. Verdict's not very good. Do I want to trim my Snapcasters because I'm boarding in Rest in Peace? Probably. Is trimming my Plows reasonable too? How do we feel about this? I don't think this is a Flusterstorm matchup. I don't think this is a Flusterstorm matchup. Yeah, the Breakfast Blade deck was really awesome. No, we lost the 5th match with Blade. Yeah, they'd already seen all of the cards that were relevant in our deck list. Like, seeing the Jace didn't really matter. Sounds like bedtime is occurring upstairs. Oh, I have Force of Wills in my deck. I'm gonna cut those. I'm gonna do that. Forgot those were hiding up there at the top. Some forces are okay, but I feel like this is a matchup where they're really just not gonna be very good. Especially when I could have like Pyroblast and Flusterstorms and stuff like that. Maybe Fluster's good because it's gonna be good at forcing through my thing. Play. This hand is great. Take a draw. Go basic planes. Cast Rest in Peace here. We play a ton of Modern on this channel. It's probably the format we play more than anything else, so I'm not sure I understand your question. Yep. Alright. We'll draw. We certainly have more basics in our deck than they do, so naturally that means they're going to draw basics and we're not, but I think it's right to just windmill this Blood Moon here. Watch this thing just like kill us in however many turns. Ding, fries are done. We have 4 basic islands in our deck. We're pretty lucky to draw one right away, but we have a lot of basic islands. Alright, let's see if they drew a force. Doot, 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 doot. Whoa! Keranos is pyroblastable. Yes, he is. Keranos is certainly pyroblastable. Yep, yep, yep. Definitely pyroblastable. We're gonna die in 16 turns to this Baleful Strix, aren't we, chat? He's pyroblastable. He just gets blasted by everybody. Oh no. Oh god, we're so dead. We tried to cheese them and we're getting cheesed. We flew too close to the sun, chat. Flew too close to the sun. Alright, back up Blood Moon, just in case. He just tripled their clock, oh no! Nice Blood Moon, idiot. Blood Moon giveth the Blood Moon. They chose not to shuffle. I assume we're dead. I assume they have another Pyroblast here. I really like to draw like a Batterskull. Stoneforge, Island. We have a lot of live ones. We've got a few more turns here. We do know he has Lightning Bolt in his deck though, so like we could definitely just like have one less turn than we think we could have. So many dumb ways to die. Locked under your Blood Moon is one of them. Be-do-do-do-do-do-do. Be-do-do-do-do-do-do. Yep. Oh no! Oh no! Not my Sword of Fire dice! God, we're so dead. Nice hate cards, Hogland. So powerful, so powerful. Alright, let's head on into our 5th and final match of this league in this evening. Thanks everyone for hanging out. We're 3-1 now. Let's see if we can get the last one. Rest in Peace was appropriately named. Rip us. Rest in pieces. Well, 4-1 all night. Here's hoping. This is gonna be the last one. I was thinking I might do Land Nauseam tonight too. I just got a bit of a headache, so I'm not gonna make it through another league. Your timeout plan was not good enough. Yeah. Yeah, we definitely... Our hand could have gone either way. We knew it was weak with the Blood Moon, and we didn't... I didn't actually even have the island when we Blood Mooned you. We got pretty fortunate to draw that. Just like hoping it would stick it and then steal the game. Eight cards. What is this? Spotted, right? All right. On the plate for the last one. I'm usually keeping most things that are like fetch land, blue mana, Brainstorm, but 6 lands Brainstorm is not going to do it. The old close 7 into the unkeepable 6. I'm on the play or the draw. I'm on the play. I'm gonna bottom that. I don't really know what I'm looking for with this Ponder yet, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go Flooded Strand pass here. I don't know if our opponent's playing a fair deck or an unfair deck. I don't know if I'm gonna need more lands down the line, etc. Could still go either way. I feel like I've played against this username and they usually play Sneak and Show. But a lot of people play a lot of different decks in Legacy Online, so... I'm going to grab a Volk here and just play the Stoneforge Mystic out regardless of what they're doing. Getting a Batterskull online is ideal for us. Yeah, I agree, Rogue. But to be fair, like, most of your bombs in the blue mirrors are blastable. That's why Blast is really good. So, like, you're never blanking Blast. So, like, having another thing that, like, they have to blast or you're going to get really far ahead seems okay. Oh, I forgot GP Seattle's coming up in its Legacy. I figured you were testing for a team event, but yeah, GP Seattle is standard and Legacy, right? It's one of those dual GP events. So could still be a fair deck or an unfair deck. Could be Grixis Delver. Could be Storm. Could be Sneak and Show. Likely. Okay, they are playing Storm. It's pretty bad against Storm. They're probably just taking our Ponder, honestly. Obnix is deep. Chandra Torture Defiance is quite fantastic. That card's super powerful. Just like, that card alone is the reason why, what's it called, is playable, the Stompy decks. The last time I played a 4-color control deck, I was playing a Pyroblast in the main. It seems fine. Legacy is the type of metagame that's inbred enough that I'm going to bolt them here to make a possible ad nauseum worse. This does let them guaranteed take my Jace, but we're probably dying this turn regardless. What's our sideboard look like for this matchup? We get some Rips, some Flusters. Another Force. Our deck's definitely not configured well for beating Storm. Okay, there's the ad nauseum, so hopefully the bolt was good enough. That being said, like, they have 6 mana floating here, right? So we're probably dead to this ad nauseum. What are the odds they take infinite damage before they find a tutor? Really low? I'm gonna concede when they flip a tutor, because tutor kills us. Just flip a bunch of Cabal rituals here. Tendrils is also lethal. Not make my opponent click through it. So Plow's real bad here. Jitte is bad. Blood Moon is bad. This deck is not well configured for Storm. I have a bunch of cards that I want to cut and not a lot of cards that I want to bring in. I guess it's not too terrible. I just feel like I don't have a lot of good tools. These bolts are pretty bad. I'm going to leave Gideon 4 in, even though he's not stellar, just because, like, he's a clock. The rest of these cards seem okay. The rest of these cards seem okay. We're not excited about True-Name, but we need to actually kill our opponent somehow, and we don't really have an alternative. Do we keep Keranos since he's blue? Nah, the total blue count isn't really a problem for this decks like this. Like if I stack, nope, don't move that. If I stack it up here, like our total blue count is 18, 20, 23, which is plenty. You don't need to leave a really bad card like Keranos in. Yeah, I do not enjoy the Delver deck. It really just doesn't. It's super powerful, and I understand that it's powerful, but just like the types of magic that it plays just like aren't great in my very subjective opinion. Especially the Delver mirrors. The Delver mirrors just feel really miserable. What is the min number of blue cards before you cut fours? I think conventional wisdom said somewhere between 18 and 19 is the minimum number of blue cards you want. So like anything 20 plus is generally fine. Love to play first. I'm gonna keep this, I guess. Remember, just having disruption isn't good enough against combo decks, but like, this hand's got a lot of disruption in it. We're gonna need to find. I really wish I had a cantrip to try and dig for a threat. I could definitely see this hand getting thrown back. We were 3-1. We lost to Mr. Burkhart there in chat, playing 4-color control. Yeah, I agree. Low end of keepable is how I would describe it too. I'm not excited about it, but like I'm not looking at this hand and going, well, let's go again. It's at least another blue card. This doesn't really count as a threat in our opening hand just because it's so slow. One of the things I like to make sure to do in matches like this is this Spell Pierce I'm going to use pretty aggressively if they try and play any cantrips or discard spells, because the soft counter magic tends to be bad the turn Storm is trying to go off. Storm is generally pretty good at playing through soft counter spells. So like if they play a cantrip here, yeah, I'm just 10 out of 10 going to go ahead and fetch and Spell Pierce this. My Pyroblast will be able to counter a cantrip later when they have more lands in play. So go ahead and do this now. You could maybe make an argument that I could hold it to pitch to a Force of Will and I could just blast this, but we're pretty likely to draw another blue card and make these forces still be live. Alright, it's an okay rip. A lot of the times this deck needs to lean on Past and Flames to go off, so rest in peace cutting them off if that's good. Especially when they're missing land drops here. They cast another cantrip, I'm going to blast it again. I would not be surprised if this matchup was not good for the Blade deck, especially this Blade deck, the way it's configured. I don't have any of the hate bears in the sideboard that you often see in these decks. So like a lot of these decks play like Meddling Mage or Aethersworn Canonist in the sideboard. So the lack of those cards makes me think they were probably a little bit of a dog. Hopefully they can't kill us through Rest in Peace and a Force here. It sucks that I can't Pyroblast this, but I'm definitely not forcing it. If my opponent casts a Dark Ritual, I'm going to force it, because that probably means they're going to play a discard spell and then try and kill us. So I'd like to cut their mana off at the start. Do you think Path will be good enough, often enough to play it in a main deck with BBE? Unsure. Is this a Xanted Swarm? What green spell are we casting? Alright, well, we have to force that one. I've not yet. Actually, we had someone donate for Miracles tonight, and I intend to play... They said I could play whatever deck list I want, and I intend to put Jim Davis's deck list in the queue. With the graveyard cut off from Past in Flames and Rest in Peace, if we get to start hitting with this Batterskull, their ad nauseums get much worse. Don't cast a ritual. Don't do it. Please don't do it. We're dead, chat. That's unfortunate. I liked being alive. The old triple LED. Yep. Alright, so that was a 3-2. Like I said, I'm not really surprised with the outcome of that match, especially just like looking at the sideboard. I think in general, Jeskai Blade's probably a little bit of a dog to Storm, and I think this build especially is like leaning into cards like Rest in Peace in the sideboard, which are less good than cards like Aethersworn Canonist or Meddling Mage in a matchup like this. I don't know that I have any good specific feedback on this. We'll talk about it in Discord later. My head's really kind of pounding, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the night. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out through the end of the stream. We had a couple of really sweet decks before this one. We played another league with Blue-Red Delverburn, and we played a really sweet Esper Breakfast Blade deck, it was called, so be sure to check those out on the YouTube channel if you haven't... if you haven't checked those out live. So I'm off. Sorry, I'm completely out of it. So I'll catch all of y'all later. I'll be back tomorrow with some more Modern starting about 3 p.m. And I'm going to be doing a long stream on Friday and a long stream on Sunday as well. So catch all of y'all around later this week, hopefully.